Let's just get started. I was excited today going to the show. I rode BART for the first time in years. Oh, yeah. I saw a sign that said that BART was the #1 transit system in the world. Yeah. And I feel like that's probably only advertised on BART trains. You know what I mean? Like, probably commissioned by BART, conducted by BART. They're trying to move the figures where they're like, what if hobos per square inch? That was really important. I rode one of those refurbished BART trains. You know, refurbished BART trains. Refurbished is an adjective that means still pretty shitty. Yeah. And I found myself a little bit nostalgic for the carpeted trains of my youth. I was like, oh, memories. Pre-9/11 trains. And then I started thinking, how did they ever get carpets in the first place? Because there had to be a meeting where someone was like, all right, we got BART, new system of trains, thousands of people are going to ride on it every day, they're going to walk on it, they're going to sleep on it, they're going to urinate on it. What are we going to cover the interior of these trains with? And one brave guy raised his hand. Carpet. As much carpet as we can find. Carpet that we scavenged from those elementary schools that had to shut down because of the scabies outbreak. I'm talking carpet on the floor, carpet on the seats, carpet a third of the way up the wall for no reason at all. Carpet. Okay, so soft carpet for the commuters? No. The outside of those carpeted seats should be as rough as burlap. It should hurt a little bit to lean against it. If your bare flesh touches that seat, you should itch for days. Okay, so rough carpet all the way through. No. The interior of those carpeted seats should be as absorbent as a sponge. It should hold in every spill, every stink, every bodily fluid. Should be preserved forever in those carpeted seats like memory foam. But the only memories are horrible, horrible nightmares. You should be able to tell how old a BART train is by cutting open the seat and counting the rings of filth that you find like a mighty redwood tree. These are amazing ideas, but how are we going to clean the trains? We will shut down the entire system for 7 hours every night and lightly sweep with a broom. That's how we got BART, everybody. You gotta think they were so relieved when they found out that COVID-19 came from China. I'm sure the BART board was like, whoo, yeah. Definitely not the Dublin Pleasanton line. There's no bats there. Wear a mask. I'm getting a little older. I just started taking yoga classes. Yoga is great, good for your flexibility, helpful for white people to misunderstand Indian culture. That is super important. If you want to learn about Indian culture and you're a white person, you want to go to Another White Person, named after a spice or a season, with tattoos on her body in a language she does not speak a single word of. So the first time I went to a yoga class, I was kind of just touching my toes for 5 minutes, and suddenly my entire body was soaked in sweat. Or as my instructor Saffron explained to me, it wasn't sweat at all, it was toxins. Just toxins leaving my body. Just toxins and gluten and red meat and alcohol and the patriarchy and late-stage capitalism and mansplaining and manspreading and manicotti pasta, which I guess I'm eating too much of, just gushing out of every pore in my body. And I turned to my friend who brought me to the class and I said, I don't think I should have started with hot yoga. And he said, this isn't hot yoga. There were fans going, all the windows were open. You can tell, they call it yoga class. Everyone in yoga is already very, very good at yoga and teaching 5 or 6 classes a week themselves. That is how the yoga industrial complex works. You know what I mean? It's like a very limber Ponzi scheme. And you can tell because they're always giving modifications because yoga's not hard enough, you know? They're like, all right, everybody get into the arrogant huntsman pose. And then put your right elbow behind your left ankle and breathe in and out only through your anus. Namaste. Or, for a modification, sit there quietly and think of all the bad decisions you've made over the years that led to this sweaty, sweaty moment. In fact, why don't you grab your towel and mop up that puddle of toxins in front of you? Downward facing janitor. There you go. There you go. Namaste. I feel like it would be one thing if you could just rest in yoga. Like if a pose was too hard, you could just sit out for a couple plays. But you can't do that. You know what they make you do? Child's pose. Yeah. Child's pose. An adult doing child's pose. You get down on your hands and knees and you curl up. And you go, I'm not very good at yoga. Oh no. It's demeaning, but also inaccurate. When was the last time you saw a child pose like that? Like, child's pose, I would think would be like throwing a ball, eating an ice cream cone, not cowering in fear, shielding yourself from a beating. That is abused child's pose right there. It is good at opening up the neglect chakra, though. That's what Saffron told me, and I think it's pretty good. I got out of a relationship recently, 29 months ago. This was tough. She was polyamorous in San Francisco. If you don't know what polyamorous means, I don't know what's happened to the city. But if you don't know, polyamorous is a Greek word that means alcoholic. That's how you make those kind of life decisions. You know the hardest thing about being in a polyamorous relationship? Not realizing you're in a polyamorous relationship. A couple of months.